Well, yes, sir, it is.
Oh, dude, what a shame, man. I got the large car back at the shop getting all shined up and everything for the show here. We just got it all done, painted Mercedes Fury red, and that's why I'm driving this right now. I had to run a load of Madison quick. Now I'm going back there to get it and coming back to Waupun.
No problem, buddy. You know how people like to look at trucks no matter what, right? Well, let's see if we can't get us an interview between here and a little north of Waupun. I know it's not the truck that you want to be in, but, you know, it doesn't matter. All right, so who do we got there in that vetting truck there? What do you go by there on the radio?
Just Devin.
Well, Devin, what are you up to today?
Not much. Just kicked this load off out in there in Madison. Headed up to Oshkosh to preload for Sunday, and then going back to the shop to grab my truck for the Waupun Truck-n-Show.
Well, that sounds like a pretty good plan to round off the rest of Friday and to be able to enjoy the show up here.
That it is.
So what are you typically hauling, and where do you go with the loads that you run?
We do a lot of regional stuff. I mean, we basically haul anything you put on a flatbed. I personally haul a lot of siding and lumber. I run out to the Twin Cities and I do a lot of LTL. We also haul a lot of air duct stuff down south to big factories and stuff, you know, that are being built. And basically anything you can put on a flatbed, we'll haul it.
The 10-4, that sounds like the modus operandi of a flatbedder there, to get whatever you can strapped to that trailer. Are most of the trailers you run the curtain sides?
We have drop decks, we have, you know, open flatbeds, and then we have two curtains. I think he's working on getting another one and getting a lowboy too. So for the most part, I mean, you know, the curtains go with the guys who haul a lot of steel and stuff that need to be tarped a lot. I personally pull an open flatbed majority of the time, hauling all that siding and lumber.
So how long you been driving for?
Let's see here, about 5 years. I started driving when I was 18.
Well, you know what? You're living that dream. A lot of guys I know, they're trying to get their CDL. They're 17 going on 18, or in between 18 and 21, and that's what they want to do. So if those guys are listening and watching this video, what would you say to them to encourage them and keep them pointed in the right direction to get that old license?
To get that license, I mean, to be honest with you, when I took the written test, it was all basically common sense. You know, the road test, I took to a third party. I heard a lot of it's changed though now, but I mean, just, you know, keep studying, and if it's something you want to do, you know, chase after it. And one thing never lose respect for, you know, your weight. That's one thing I can, you know, that's the only thing I can really address to them, you know, that I find really important. You know, everybody's going to always try to beat you no matter what the situation is. You just gotta, you know, have plenty of room and always give yourself a backup plan.
But I noticed here in Wisconsin that the drivers here, especially on 151, the motorists, they pay attention to the road, they get over, they move over, and they're not running up alongside people as they're on the side of the road. What are some of the things that you see in the area where you drive regarding motorists and how they move over for people on the side of the road?
To be honest with you, compared to a lot of, you know, other states down south and everything, up here in Wisconsin, it's they're pretty good about it. I mean, you know, I've seen it, you know, a lot of other states where the cars won't even get over if someone's on the side of the road. Up here, pretty much, you know, everyone who sees someone on the side of the road, they're gonna, you know, try to move to the other lane if possible. And I mean, it's always safe. It sucks when you're sitting on the side of the road and you don't have much room and traffic's zooming by you at 70, and you know.
Yeah, it's in for. I'd have to agree with you. I've been watching. Everybody's getting right over. I'm like, man, this is so different from all the other places that I've been. So let me ask you, when you first started trucking there, what were you driving and what were you hauling?
Well, I technically first started driving when I was 13 years old. I drove a potato truck, and I drove I can't remember the year of it, 1960-something International R190. and it was a twin stick hauling potatoes up there in Anago, Wisconsin. And then when I got my actual CDL, I went and started driving a quad axle dump truck down there near Milwaukee, doing a lot of paving. That was a Peterbilt 378.
10-4. Now you're saying you're driving a potato truck at 13?
Yep.
How'd that work out?
It's agricultural. You can start driving when you're 12.
So kind of paint a picture. You get a load, and where would you go with it?
Well, you run alongside the harvester there in the field, and then, I just ran from the field back to the potato farm, and then, you dump off in a big, it looks like it's just a big empty warehouse, and you empty it out there, and then it goes through the sorters and the graders, and they grade all the potatoes, and, then it goes through the wash plant, and then they bag them up, and then have a private carrier come and truck them out all over.
Now, were you hitting the asphalt or not when you're running the potatoes?
Oh yeah, but at most it was 15, 20 miles away from the farm, but I was still running down the road and down, a 4-lane highway like this.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but those trucks, they were fully loaded with potatoes. You weren't getting more than 30, 35 miles an hour out of them.
That's like training wheels, and I'm sure a lot of people would want that opportunity, especially some of the young ones nowadays. Does that agricultural rule still exist?
Yeah, it does. I don't know if I know that there's still a thing called the Farm Service CDL. I want to say it's like 14 years old now, but at 14 years old, you can hop in a semi and haul anything, hazmat or whatever, and as long as you stay within 150 miles of the farm, you're good. You can drive a semi down the road 80,000 pounds at 14.
That's awesome. I'm sure a lot of people are going to chime in about that. I'm sure some guys will have some memories of themselves doing the same thing. It'll be great to hear those stories.
Oh yeah, they were fun. It was by far nothing, pretty. It was always my dream to, drive a nice truck someday, and, I had to start somewhere, and my dad used to own trucks, and he sold them when I was about 6 or 7. He sold them when him and my mom divorced, and it was basically anything I could get my hands on, and that was the first thing, and you ride around in them things where window cranks were all busted off, and there was no such thing as AC when those were made.
I heard that right. Devin, it's a Sunday after the Waupun Truck-n-Show. You mentioned that you're going to grab your truck there. So what do you got for a truck?
It's a 2006 Peterbilt 379 long hood, and stretched out to a 300-inch wheelbase. It's got the C15 A-cert in it with a 18-speed Fuller Eaton.
10-4. Looks like she means to do business there, huh?
Yeah, it's hard to keep it looking like a show truck when it's a working truck too. The truck runs every day, 5-6 days a week, and we try our best to keep up on them and everything, maintenance and appearance.
I guess we'll call that aesthetic maintenance.
Yeah, you can call it that. Just for this show, I keep up on this truck here pretty good. Speed wax wise and all that, and even with keeping up on it, I think there was a total of 17 hours to get it ready for this show with 2 people. And another thing I've always heard is dish soap is bad to use on, trucks and all that. And I came to work here for vetting. They showed me dish soap really isn't bad. It doesn't strip the wax, and dish soap is honestly the best degreaser I've ever found.
Really? I never heard that one.
Yup, Dawn dish soap is what we use. And you put Dawn dish soap in a bucket of hot water and you go underneath there and any grease, it doesn't matter how long it's been caked on there for, it just comes off so nice, and then you can just spray wax everything and wipe it off with a microfiber and it looks like new.
Go ahead and rattle off what you got for custom parts there.
Oh, I know it's got I believe this here is a 12 gauge drop visor. It's got the 12 gauge air ride in the front. He's got the custom aluminum battery boxes on here with the Harley Davidson foot pedals, which is becoming a pretty common thing. I've seen that quite a bit today, or this weekend here at the show. He took the straps off on the air cleaners, chopped them down, and the interior, it's got the painted dashboard and painted steering wheel to match. I do like this color here a lot. It's a color that pops, and it's really weird how it works in the direct sunlight. It looks like it's just a bright red, with a metallic base, and then when, at nighttime or if it's cloudy out, it looks like it's a real dark maroon, so it's kind of cool how it can change tints.
Yeah, 10-4, that's what I was thinking. Well, Devin, it's been a pleasure cruising up here with you from the Waupun area to the northern part of Wisconsin, or a little further north.
Oh, same to you there, man, and it's been a pleasure to have your company, and I really like what you do with all these videos. I really think it's cool, and it's helpful to people who are just looking into the industry and wondering what it's all about, and you really focus in on people who take pride in the industry still these days.
In my opinion, it needs to be done because you guys are working hard and you're looking good doing it. And if anything, the rest of the people in the industry will appreciate a person like yourself that is maintaining not just a piece of equipment, but looking to maintain trucking and what trucking means.
Yeah, copy that. And it's hard out here, especially being 23 years old. I get looked down as part of the new generation, and not all of us in the new generation of trucking are bad. A lot of us come and were raised by people who were brought up in the whole pride and your ride and in the industry and the job you do.
Yep, I couldn't agree more. Well, you be safe, and we'll be looking for you soon.
Man, thank you again.